These accessories in Raid are just killing me. Oh, these 9-piece sets have just made a mess of my inbox and my art accessories. All right, in this video, we're going to get into how do you clean that mess up.
Hold up. Click the link in the description right now, and you can get the free legendary Karato, as well as one amazing epic as you level up. Here are the exact steps to follow. Step 1. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Step 2. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step 3. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Step 4. Go to your inbox and claim Karato, the lockdown nuker, as well as an excellent support Tagoar as you hit level 15. Click the link now. Let's go!
All right, anybody have their inbox look like this and their accessories? 1587. I got 13 free spots. How about that? That's a record for me. They gave me 100 spots and I filled them right out of the inbox and filled the inbox back up. So yeah, it didn't take long. So that's full. And then I'm sitting here at 386 in the inbox. CVC is about to end. Well, the CVC's over. It's about to have the 24 hours up, and they're going to dump all the rewards in my inbox, and it's going to kill stuff. So I got to clean stuff, make some room before that happens. It's a real pain. And for me, you know, if I go to accessories here, you can just see my inbox full of access. A lot of that from running the event dungeon. And then if I got all these Hydra class chests that also pile up in here. And then you can just see how many of those I have. And if I open up one of those, it just turns into a couple more accessories. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, it just makes a mess out of these. So I got to look at these too and decide, well, do I actually want to keep these things or not? And it's tough to even judge because you've got to look at these 9-piece sets and say, well, you probably keep stuff that you wouldn't normally keep. So that's what I want to focus on is if you're sitting here with an inbox that's piled up with accessories and you've got accessories in there, what are the steps that you can do to try and make room? I'm not going to make this a full gear cleanse video where I go through item by item because I don't think you want to sit here and watch all of that. So I am going to focus on what are the tactics and show you some of the things that I would do depending on where you are in the game. So best time to do it is when there is a gear enhancement event on, which is on right now. So I'm actually partially through this thing and actually have been, you know, I did some of the gear enhancement during CVC. This is a good time to do it because if you're going to cleanse anyway, hey, you might as well get some benefits out of here because you're going to likely, when you're cleansing, you're going to be rolling up gear at the same time to see if it's worth keeping. So good time to do it is when the gear enhancement is on. So from there, if I'm going to go into, you know, a champion and say, you know, what are we going to do for looking at accessories and how do you clear that backlog? And I you know, kind of ranted in the opening about the 9-piece sets. It's really what's, to me, has destroyed the ability to manage accessories in this game. You know, you've got all the standard accessories, which really, as you get to end game, these are just getting outdated. Is it worth putting on one of these when you can use stone skin in a 4-piece stone skin, 4-piece savage build, or reaction accessories if you're focused in arena? In some cases, blood shield if you need the scarab, and then protection sets. 9-piece protection is great for a lot of champs to protect those buffs, particularly in Chimera, and also if you want to be able to do more damage because they add in damage for each. If you're wearing a 9-piece set, allies deal 5% more damage for each buff placed on the wearer, so you can actually get to a higher level of damage on them. And then pinpoint can speed your champs up, avoid you from getting sheeped. You know, Pharaoh can actually protect those debuffs you're putting out there. Cleansing, kind of, you see, I got one of those. You know, not really that good anymore. Revenge also feels less useful, but it can be a 9th piece too. So you got all these 9-piece sets, and it makes looking at the value of some of these, I would keep lower value items in here. Like you see, I've got 5-star pinpoint, because if that's what I need to get, you know, more speed on a champ, 2 pieces gives me 10 speed just for 2 accessories. That's crazy. So do I really care how good that how good that amulet is or that ring is if it's giving me 10s? That's really what I want. I want the set bone. So that's just turn accessories into a nightmare where all of a sudden in the past you used to be able to restrict these standard ones down and just kind of keep the good stuff, and you'd be able to keep your space managed. Accessories I thought were easier to manage than artifact. What do you do within that? So if you're early to mid game, then I think you're still collecting these standard accessories because you're running spiders and you're trying to get the best accessories you can. Then I think you're in the mode where what I would do is I would come in and I would filter by rings, and then I would the primary stats and look at HP rings. You could see I don't even have any standard Lizardman rings anymore. I got rid of them. I don't have any standard Knights Revenant. There we go. Standard Sylvan Watcher. So what I would do is I would look through the HP rings I have and say, well, so do I have an HP main stat with an HP sub that's rolled? Ideally that's what I'm looking for. In this one, having defense and attack percent, maybe that's one I'd sell for me at a lower end game. This is a good defensive ring with HP and a triple roll on defense, which is why I kept that one. So you can see I only have 4 HP rings. Really, I probably need to pick the 2 best of these and get rid of the other 2 while I'm gear cleansing because I need to keep more 9-piece success. But if you're further back in the game and you're early to mid-game, then what you really want to do is you don't really need more than 4 HP rings. The best that you have, and sell whatever is not as good as the other 3 or 4 that you keep. And really, it's that much of a critical eye on it. I don't need 6, 7 HP rings. Pick the best ones that you have. So you're down to, say, 3 HP rings. You'll get more anyway. So the next time you do a gear cleanse, you're clearing them out to be even better. And then what I would do is I would say, okay, I'm done with rings that are HP. Let me look at rings that are attack and pick the best ones I have there. Then go through rings that are defense, and I'm sorted by factions, and I'm going to keep the best 2 defense rings that I have by faction and get, say it's 3, get rid of the rest that you don't need and sell those. You'll create more space, and so on. I'll go through amulets and look for each of I'll go HP, then attack, then defense, then crit damage, and I'll work my way over to banners. And in banners, I'm a little more open in that I might look at substats and say, do I have speed substats? I'm more willing to keep something that has a substat on it. But I am still going to sort through banners, and I'm going to look at my HP banners and say, oh, well, I only got 2 of them, and they both have speed subs on them. Worth keeping, I'd say, with the exception of the 9-piece set problem. So, and then I would look at, okay, well, now let me look at my attack banners next. And do I like the subs? Particularly here, I'm looking for attack percent and I'm looking for speed. This one's got a double roll on speed, so I kept it. It's got a single roll on speed and it's got attack percent on there. That one's got a triple speed roll and that one's got 1 speed with no attack percent. I'll probably come back to that one. I'm going to look at these for a little bit, but I probably should sell this one. Just because on my account, I don't want to keep standard accessories and it's only got a single roll. Oh, it's an accuracy banner. Was I looking at attack? How do I even have I'm on subspeed? That'd make more sense. So if I'm looking at attack banners, I only have 1 of them. If I'm looking at accuracy banners, I only have the 1. So you can actually see I have really weeded out, but somehow I have 5 resistance banners. I assume those have good speed on them. Some do, some don't. So I'm probably keeping all of them because of speed, but that's probably a place where on my account, I need to pick like the best 3 resistance banners or even 2 since they're standards and get rid of the other ones because I can't afford to keep that many spots. So it's a place where I could clear as an endgame account. So I think that's tactic 1 that you want to do. You want to come in here and sort by each of the different accessory types and then go through each faction and look at Lizardmen and then look at Ogre tribes. And so in this case, I'm still looking at resistance banners. I have 2 dwarves. I have 2 standard Sylvan Watchers. I think I start looking in at by faction. I want to go through my stone skin accessories as a group and say, I probably want to keep a few rings, a few amulets, and a few banners and get rid of the rest. I can't afford with so many factions to be able to one of everything. So let me do a little math. I'll be right back. All right, quick math here. There are 15 factions currently. There are 12 different types you can get. So that's 3 rings, 4 amulet types, and 5 banners, which is basically just doing the math that if you came in and said, hey, for banners, 8 fee attack, defense, resistance, axe. So 5 of those. So 12 different types that you can get in the accessories, and there's 15 different accessory sets like protection, refresh, the 2 live arena sets, merciless, and all those plus the stand. That's 2,700 different accessories if you only kept 1 of each. You have 1,500 spots or 1,600 spots now. So there's no way you can't, even when I was saying, well, keep your best 2 HP, keep your best 2 defense, you can't do that for everything. You have to pick and choose. It's just not possible to keep them all. That's 60%. You have to get rid of, you can't even keep 1 of each. It's basically you're 40% overloaded. So basically 2,700 need to fit in 1,600. So you have to be judicious. You can't keep all the combinations and all the sets and make it work. That's what I would do if I'm going through and saying, how do I pick? I would at least start weeding out to the best types of accessory. Now, the second thing I would do is, and this is only going to be possible for some people versus others, is you can then use 2 different places to go say, hey, well, how good is the gear that I have? How do I know whether I should get rid of these or not? So what I was saying is at least pick if you're picking HP rings, keep your best 3 HP rings and look for where you have good substats and where the substats the same as the main stat, and I can get leverage from that. But also, you can look at if you have access to a couple tools, and I will put up one of those for you, is if you have access to HellHades Optimizer. On this tool, you can actually, if you're a subscriber to it, and I'm on the lowest paid level, it actually allows me to see the ratings that the HH team, or I should say the HH program, assigns to these. So if you have something like that, you can actually come in here and tell me, well, what is the best gear that I have? So show me all the bin, very weak, and weak sets, and it will actually then go through your gear and say, hey, here's all, I have 237 pieces that it says are worth weak, very weak, or bin. Well, really what it's picking on is those 9-piece sets where I couldn't sell stuff because I was afraid to sell stuff because I might complete the 9-piece set with it. It's telling me, hey, you got 237 of those that are probably primed to get rid of. And I can even also come in and tell me, well, just sell me the ones that are standard. Well, it's actually telling me I have ones that are not in 9-piece set that are really weak. Now that one's got 24 speed on it. I kind of like that one. But you can actually see the theme: speed, speed, speed. Well, here's actually one, a ring that I'm keeping that's viewed as weak. So these are ones that I can come back to when you're not sitting here watching me, and get rid of these and start selling some of the stuff. The other way you can do it is with RSL Helper. It has a similar function where you can compare it to the cell file. I won't pull that up because I think that's more of a limited audience here. But the RSL Helper cell file comparison can do the same thing as this. That's a free program. You don't have to pay for that. You don't have to be a subscriber. You can actually just compare it to the cell file, and it'll show you which items it wouldn't have kept if it had run against the cell file. So that's a couple ways in which you can do it, to be able to look at ways to get a better view of what would be good for you or not good for you. And then the last step for me, which can be pretty helpful too, is go in your master vault. You can't do the reserve vault champ because they can't have gear in. But you can go on your master vault and say, hey, do all my champs in this master vault have accessories on? Now, they have to be 5-star to have the amulet, and they have to be 6-star to have a banner. But in this case, I can come in here and say, all right, let's put a banner on Norog that I just pulled out of there, and put the accessory on Norog. So that's one way in which I can say, all right, let me just put one of these banners on him. And, ideally I'd put one that actually fits his skills. So he's a defense-based champ. So I'd rather have, a defense banner. So at least I have a chance if I'm actually building him that it's the right banner. So I'll probably put a defense banner on him. So you can go through your master vault then, which is one of the things I'll do tonight, is just go through and put accessories on these. So you can see a lot of these guys I have in here don't have gear on, but I did come in and put some accessories on them. So I can come through here and load them up. So that's a good way to be able to lower the number of accessories you have, particularly for your champs that are at 60. But even lower champs in here that I just have in here as dupes that are in faction guardians. I mean, that's 3 accessories I could put on this Adeline, right? Or in this case, if she's only a 1-star, I can at least get the rings. So, but every ring I can put on a champ that's not ascended to 5-star, I can at least put a ring on those and get rid of some rings. So, in my case, I've got 400 open spots sitting in the master vault here. I mean, that could be 400 to 500 accessories, at least 400 rings, and maybe there's 100, in all these 60s that are ascended. I can put amulets and banners. So, you got a good 500-600 worth of accessories if you've got this fully opened up. But however many open spots you have, you just basically can say, if you got 100 spots open, that's 100 of rings that at a minimum you can get out of your accessories. So I guess to sum it up is you definitely, the further in the game you get, you have to be, really strict on the type of accessories you're keeping. So I'm about to tonight go through this process and say, all right, which accessories, if I sort by accessories, do I not need? I want to go compare to the optimizer for HellHades and see which of those don't meet the ratings that I can get rid of. I can go look at the RSL Helper cell file and compare to that and see which ones of those that would tell me to sell and reduce those. And then I can go into my master vault and start putting accessories on champs as well. And the objective would be to not only get those, 200 or so accessories I've got sitting in the inbox out of there. But then how do I actually get enough out of the main inventory so that the next one I get doesn't end up right back in the inbox? So it's really a mess. I've basically advocated, in Reddit or forums where nobody but me is listening. But, I don't know why they keep adding the same number of spots and artifacts that they do in accessory, because you can use the same artifacts for any champ, but you can't use the same access. So with 2,700 accessories for the amount of space that we have in 1,600 spots, I think if they have 200 extra spots they need to add those 200 spots into the accessory, and don't give us any more artifact storage if space is a limitation. I think you should be able to reduce the amount of artifacts you have. I shouldn't have 1559 in there. I got a bunch I can weed out, so I can get that storage lower. I think they should add those to the accessory. I think the other game changer, which I don't expect them to do anytime soon, or ever probably, is instead of having all these accessories by faction, at least make those by alliance, so that the Tolarian League could share accessories. The Galen Pack could share accessories. That would be a significant change in the number of accessories that we would need. If you simply took 15 factions down to 4 alliances, that takes the 2,700 accessories we need down to 720. So four alliances instead of 15 factions would mean the number of accessories we need would drop from 2,700 down to 720 with 1,600 spots available. I mean, that's a game changer. What others have said is just get rid of the factions altogether and just have accessories be one big pool like artifact. I mean, I don't see them doing that I don't see them doing the alliances either. Packs, they're certainly not going to, completely drop it to one. Even just doing alliances still creates a difference. But you have these leagues in here for what? For what purpose? The accessories would allow to do that, and it would really solve the accessory problem. Anyway, and I don't see how they monetize the fact that we run out of space. They don't give us the ability to add more space for cost, so there's no real benefit to them in having the system the way it is. So that's my thought process on, I think, how you can help clear out accessory storage. I'm going to have to get with the 9-piece sets. I got to be more judicious than I am as well. So I'm going to go through those pinpoints and say I can't keep more pinpoints than I need. Keep a few rings, keep a few amulets, keep a few banners, and I got to be really judicious on the standard accessories. So hopefully you found something in there helpful, something in there that was new. Clearly it's not a full gear cleanse, because that's just going to take too much time, and this video is already 21 minutes. So I'm trying to keep it to the point. Hopefully there's something in there for you. If you did find something helpful, I'd love it if you could like the video, subscribe, and come check out the channel. Thank you.